Archangel Michael says, "Did you feel the air change last night? Did your eyes suddenly open at 3 a.m. with no reason, no noise, just silence so heavy it pressed on your chest? Did a strange tension crawl through your room while everything else was still? This is not your imagination. 7 angels stood in awe last night. Heaven shifted. A decision was made. Something divine unfolded while the world slept, and yet you are the only one still unaware. This is not just a warning. This is a divine intervention. I, Archangel Michael, have been sent with fire in my wings and urgency in my spirit because time has run short. This is not a scroll for tomorrow. This is a message sealed for you, for now. You were supposed to wake up different. You were supposed to feel the truth break open before the sun rose. But distraction wrapped around you like fog. And now the heavens are in shock, not because you failed, but because you're still blind to what just happened. Something was whispered over your name. A plan was set into motion. Your spiritual timeline just split, and you're standing at the fork, unaware that the choice you make tonight decides which road becomes your future. This is your final moment to uncover what was hidden. What happened last night was not random. It was spiritual. It was seismic. It was sacred. Open this message fully, because if you don't, you'll say later, "Why didn't anyone tell me?" And I will say, "I did. I was sent." I shouted type 777 if you're ready to receive what they tried to keep from you. Archangel Michael says, "Let me tell you what happened in heaven last night." 7 angels stood in formation before the throne, each assigned to nations, to families, to prophetic moments in time. They are not ordinary. They are watchers, carriers of revelation, witnesses of divine turning points. And they all paused, stunned. Because something was supposed to be received on earth, something massive, but only one soul didn't awaken. Only one person didn't respond. You. Don't be offended. Be alarmed. Because when heaven stops in shock, it's not because of judgment. It's because a window was opened and almost completely missed. One angel wept. Another whispered, "How can they not see it?" And a third stepped forward and said, "They are still asleep in the spirit. We must try again." Child, this is not drama. This is reality in the realm of spirit. Heaven had circled your house with light last night. A divine broadcast was released. Your name echoed through the chambers of time. But while you turned in your bed, tossing from restlessness, your spirit was supposed to rise. You were supposed to awaken into divine awareness. Instead, confusion wrapped around your atmosphere. A force, jealous, ancient, silent, crept closer. Not to harm you physically, but to delay you spiritually. You have no idea what was supposed to shift. The 7th angel held the final scroll. Inside was an answer you've cried for in silence. Yes, that one. The thing you never told a soul about. But instead of releasing it, he looked at the throne and said, "They haven't noticed us yet." And I, Michael, stepped forward in that moment and said, "Send me." I begged heaven for this second chance. I said, "Let me go again. Let me interrupt their day, their scroll, their breath, whatever it takes. Let me shake them before it's too late." And heaven agreed. That's why this message reached you. You're not late. You're just on the last call. You've seen the signs. Don't pretend you haven't. The flicker in the hallway light when no one moved. The sudden chill in the middle of a warm room. The strange dream you thought meant nothing, where someone whispered your name but you couldn't see their face. All of it was real. The angels were trying to warn you, trying to prepare you, trying to say, "Wake up. A shift is near." But darkness works hardest in the moments before divine clarity. That's why you felt so tired. That's why your emotions have been confusing. That's why someone close to you suddenly became distant, acting odd, cold, or extra kind out of nowhere. That was a spiritual mask. Heaven is watching. You've asked God, "Why haven't I heard anything?" But the truth is, you did. You just didn't know it was him. He spoke in your pause, in the sound of your breath, in the moment you opened a drawer and found something you forgot you kept, in the way your spirit felt too heavy to function last night. Those 7 angels are still circling. They don't leave until the assignment is completed. Let me tell you what they saw. A conversation, a door, a plan written with your name on it, but signed by someone pretending to protect you. It shocked the angels because you've trusted this person. You've opened your heart to them. You've defended them. But they've been standing too close to your light with a shadow in their mouth. And they're not alone. Another force has been feeding them doubt about you. Spiritual jealousy. Envy wrapped in friendship. The 7th angel said, "We cannot delay this scroll another night. They must be told." So I stepped down. This is not a poetic message. This is your spiritual broadcast. Wake up, child. You are behind on information that belongs to you. The 7 angels are shocked because this delay is costing you answers. But I, Michael, am not shocked. I knew the resistance would be strong. That's why I came with fire in my wings. This is no longer a suggestion. This is your final notification. If you ignore this again, heaven will not plead, because the assignment must move forward, with or without your awareness. But I don't want you left behind. That's why I'm speaking to you with clarity. Let me explain something clearly. What was meant to be revealed last night wasn't just for your curiosity. It was the next step in your divine strategy. A move in your favor, a spiritual reset, an appointment with justice. You are not crazy. You are not being paranoid. You are finally being awakened. This is what the angels know. You are chosen. You are watched over. You have an unclaimed inheritance in the realm of spirit. You have a truth that's been buried under confusion, but not destroyed. And it was supposed to rise last night, but the door didn't open because your spirit was distracted by grief, exhaustion, and disbelief. That's okay, because now, right now, you get another chance. But listen closely. This will not come again. The scroll is still sealed, but it won't stay sealed for long. The angels are waiting. I am standing at your side. And heaven is watching what you do next. Type 444 if you feel this shaking your soul. That number means heaven is near and truth is about to break through. Archangel Michael says, what happened last night was not a dream. It was not your imagination. It was not just another night. Last night, something was opened in the spirit. A veil was torn. A secret was released. And while the world kept sleeping, the realm of heaven turned its eyes toward you. You felt it, didn't you? The strange heaviness around 2:44 a.m.? The whisper you thought was just wind? The pressure in your chest you tried to dismiss as a passing thought? That was not ordinary. That was spiritual alignment. That was divine contact. Let me tell you what happened. Clearly, directly, without mystery. A door in the heavens cracked open last night, and from it came a surge of truth, meant specifically for you. It was not meant to go to anyone else. Your name was etched into the message, the sound of your voice, the rhythm of your breathing. It was the trigger, but something interfered. The very moment your spirit reached out, something rose against you, a counterforce, an ancient resistance, a jealous energy that has watched you for years, hoping you never realize how much power your awareness holds. It came through a familiar face, someone close to you, someone who has prayed with you, laughed beside you, and recently acted differently. Too nice, too quiet, too interested. You sensed it, but you silenced yourself. Last night, that person was spiritually exposed. Not in the physical yet, but in the heavenlies. They were named. And the angels recorded it. They tried to block your message. They tried to hijack what was coming to you. And they almost succeeded. I watched it unfold. I, Michael, stood on guard. The scroll in the angel's hand began to burn, not with fire of destruction, but with the fire of divine urgency. But you didn't reach for it. You rolled over. You closed your eyes. You told yourself, it's just a weird night. But the truth is, that was the night. The one heaven had been preparing for, the one your ancestors prayed for, the one that could have changed everything in a moment. Don't cry, don't panic. There is still time, barely, but you must listen now. What was supposed to happen was a divine reversal. You were to be given a vision, a dream, or a spiritual key to unlock something hidden in your family line. It could have come through a phone call, a slip of words, a moment of remembrance. But that moment was swallowed in distraction. Now listen carefully. You've been hearing your name spoken in silence. You've been seeing a certain object show up more than once. A feather, a clock number, a name that appears randomly, even in conversation with strangers. These are not accidents. They are fragments of what was supposed to be made whole last night. A decision was being made in your favor. But because the transmission was blocked, now you must fight for it in awareness. Heaven tried to give it to you while you slept. But now I must speak to you directly while you're awake. A sound was supposed to come. Did you hear it? It was faint, like a soft creak, like a breath behind your ear. One of the angels was sent to whisper something over your pillow. But a presence stood between you and that whisper, a familiar energy, someone who no longer belongs near your soul, someone who has smiled while silencing your progress, someone who knows more than they pretend to, and they're scared, because last night they felt it too. They woke up suddenly, they looked at their phone, they paced, they felt heaven watching, and they knew it was about you. This is what the angels recorded. At 3:17 a.m., the name of the deceiver was spoken aloud by a guardian angel. The sword of truth was drawn. A shift in spiritual positioning occurred. This means someone who once had authority over your energy, emotionally, spiritually, or mentally, was stripped of that access. But only if you act on it now. Because if you pretend this message is just another word, if you scroll away thinking, maybe later, then you will unknowingly walk back into the cage that heaven unlocked last night. You are free, but freedom must be acknowledged. You are clear, but clarity must be claimed. You are restored, but restoration must be activated. What happened last night was the unsealing of a sacred contract. You had asked, God, what do I need to know? Who is holding me back? Why do I feel watched? And heaven answered, but now I, Michael, must place the answer in your hands manually, because spiritually the handoff was interrupted. Let me ask you something very personal. Did you hear your name while no one was there? Did your body flinch from what you thought was a shadow? Did someone's text or voice suddenly feel off but you brushed it away? Those were the signs. And now I am confirming it. The person you need to watch is already reacting. Their behavior will change rapidly over the next 24 hours. They may suddenly reach out, or go silent. They may accuse you, or flatter you. Don't fall for it. Heaven already exposed them. Your only job now is to be awake. Last night was your wake-up call. But this right now, this is your command. Respond. Say, I receive the truth. I am no longer blind. Say it aloud if you must, because your agreement with heaven must now be verbal. The angels are listening. They will not delay this again. Child, last night was a turning point. But this moment? This is your chance to catch what almost passed you by. Type 111 if you feel your spirit remembering what your mind forgot. Archangel Michael says, there was a message. Holy, sealed, personal, released last night. It had your name on it, and yet, you still don't know what it said. That's why I'm here, to reveal what was hidden, to recover what was almost lost, because the message didn't vanish, it was intercepted. You were supposed to dream it. You were supposed to hear it whispered while you slept. You were supposed to wake up remembering a single word, a symbol, a face. But something got in the way. A spiritual force that's been lurking near your life, watching, measuring, mimicking. It stepped in to blur the vision, dull the sound, break the signal. And now, that message still floats between two realms, unopened, unfinished, waiting for your spirit to reach for it. Let me tell you what it said. Last night, while you were asleep, a scroll was unsealed in the spirit realm. It contained the truth about a situation that has confused you for years. Yes, years. You've asked yourself, why did that person walk away without explanation? Why do I feel so stuck when I try to move forward? Why does their name still echo in my spirit, even after all this time? Because it wasn't over. The message was going to answer it all. But instead of clarity, you woke up in a fog. You felt more tired than usual. You didn't know why your heart was heavy or why a random memory returned out of nowhere. That was the message trying to reach you, but it got scrambled. So now I'm delivering it directly. Listen closely. You were lied to. Someone in your past altered the story. They left out key details. They manipulated the truth not just with words, but with timing, silence, and disappearance. And because of that, your heart has carried confusion like a stone. The message was designed to lift that stone, to break the emotional agreement you unknowingly made with false closure, to shatter the lie that said, "You'll never understand." Here's the truth. They didn't leave because of you. They left because of a deal they made in secret, a spiritual contract, an agreement involving your name, your potential, and someone else's envy. I saw it happen. Heaven recorded it. And that's why the message last night was urgent, because the time to reveal it has finally arrived. Let me go deeper. There's something in your space, a paper, a journal, a saved message, a photo, even a song, that you haven't touched in months or years. It holds a clue. It was connected to the original message. Last night, your spirit was supposed to be led to it. But because the signal was scrambled, you missed it. Now I'm instructing you, go find it. You'll know it's the one because when you touch it, your body will respond, your chest will tighten, or your eyes will water, or your skin will react like it's standing in electricity. That's not coincidence. That's activation. And when you find it, speak this aloud. I receive the truth. I reject confusion. I reclaim what was stolen. Because this message is not just about knowledge. It's about restoration. Someone took something from you, spiritually and emotionally, and they thought you'd never notice. They tried to erase the evidence. They made you doubt your own instincts. They made you second-guess what you knew deep in your gut. But the message in the scroll exposed everything. And now, heaven is returning it piece by piece, but only if you're bold enough to say yes. There is a decision hovering in your future. The reason this message had to be revealed is because you are about to be faced with a choice. One path looks familiar. It will feel safe, nostalgic, easy to explain, but it's the trap. The other path will seem unfamiliar, risky, even uncomfortable, but it is the door. And the message you were supposed to receive last night would have made that choice easy. So now, I am warning you. Choose with your spirit, not your fear. The person who once betrayed you will try to reappear, subtly. They may show up in a post, a text, a conversation you overhear, and they will act like nothing ever happened, but your spirit will recognize them. And the moment you feel that familiar inner tension, remember, that's the message. That's the confirmation you were waiting for. Because part of the hidden message was not just a revelation of the past. It was a map for your next season. You are going to be presented with an opportunity soon. A relationship, a business idea, a relocation, a change in connection. But the clarity of that decision depends on you accepting this truth. I was never abandoned. I was protected. What I lost was not rejection. It was redirection. This delay was not a punishment. It was a setup for divine reversal. Let those words settle. That's the power of the message. It doesn't just tell you what happened. It heals you from the inside out. And now I must ask you something. Are you ready to receive the full truth? Because there's still one final part of the message that has not been unlocked. The angels are still circling, the scroll is still open, and your name is still glowing in the light of heaven. All that's left is your choice. Do you believe this message is for you? Then say this out loud. I will not miss what God is releasing. I reclaim every hidden truth, and I walk in divine clarity. Now type 999 as a declaration. I receive the message that was hidden. Archangel Michael says, this is the moment. This is the choice. And it cannot wait. You are standing at the intersection of spiritual destiny and dangerous delay. Heaven has held back the storm for as long as possible. But tonight, the decision must be made. You've heard the warnings. You've felt the signs. You've received the truth. But now comes the question that separates watchers from warriors. What will you do with what you know? Because this is not just about information. This is about activation. Last night was a divine setup. A test was placed in your atmosphere. Something or someone was sent to trigger you, not to break you, to reveal you. And now, with the scroll open, the angels watching, and the weight of eternity pressing against your chest, I must speak plainly. There is someone around you who has been given one final chance to choose light over shadow, and their decision will either bless or burden you unless you act. Heaven is calling you to draw a line, to confront what you've tolerated, to remove what you've excused, to rise above what you've settled for. Because let me tell you the truth, delay is no longer just delay, it is disobedience. You've asked for deliverance, you've cried out for peace, you've begged for breakthrough, but none of it can come until you make the choice that opens the door or seals it shut. The choice is not just about a person, it's about an energy, a spiritual current that's been pulling you off course, subtly, slowly, seductively. They smile in your face. They ask questions that sound helpful. They say they're praying for you. But behind the veil, their spirit is tied to sabotage. Heaven has seen the conversation. I've heard the tone shift when your name comes up. They think it's hidden. But in the realm of light, nothing stays covered. Let me be clear. The person you're afraid to confront is not afraid to drain you. The situation you keep praying about is one you've already been told to walk away from. The cycle you think will change this time is only strengthening its grip the longer you wait. So now I must ask you, will you obey the tug on your spirit or keep entertaining the thing that's stealing your peace? There is a door that's open right now, but not for long. The angels have been dispatched to prepare your surroundings. Even now, they're moving objects, touching minds, whispering names into atmospheres you haven't even stepped into yet. But here is the secret. They cannot complete the assignment unless you give the command. I am not sent to babysit your fear. I am sent to ignite your courage. Because this choice tonight is not small. It will ripple for years. You are deciding who will go with you and who must stay behind. You are deciding what to carry and what must be buried. You are deciding whether the old you dies tonight or rises again to repeat the same delay for another 7 months. Yes, 7. Because if you do not obey this prompting, the pattern will reset, the cycle will recycle, and the window will close until your soul is ready to bleed for breakthrough again. But I don't want that for you. Heaven doesn't want that for you, and that's why I've drawn my sword. Not to scare you, to shield you. But shields only work when you stand behind them. So I say this with authority. Cut the tie, close the door, make the decision. This is not punishment, this is positioning. That message you were meant to receive last night, part of it said this: they cannot go with you where I'm taking you. You tried to edit that line. You tried to rationalize it. You told yourself, but maybe they'll change. They didn't mean it. I'll just pray more. But child, prayer cannot override the disobedience of keeping someone in a seat they were never meant to fill. You have outgrown that room. And heaven is now calling you to exit the space you've been shrinking yourself inside of. There is a new atmosphere prepared for you, one filled with divine connections, God-ordained opportunities, miracles that are location-sensitive, both in spirit and in geography. But first, you must make this decision tonight. Let me describe it for you. You will feel a strange tension tonight. A name will cross your mind. A memory will arise. A message may even come through a person who rarely contacts you. That is not by chance. It is your final prompt. And when it happens, don't freeze. Don't delay. Don't journal it and say, "I'll think about this tomorrow." There is no tomorrow for this decision. There is only now. Archangel Michael says, this is your moment. You've heard what the angels saw. You've learned what was stolen in the night. You've received the truth that was hidden behind silence. Now heaven is watching your next move. This message wasn't sent to entertain you. It was sent to awaken you, to pull you out of spiritual sleep before it's too late. Because what happened last night wasn't just strange. It was divine. A scroll was opened. A name was spoken. A secret was revealed. And you were the only one left unaware. But now, you know. And with knowledge comes power. Power to walk away from deception. Power to break the cycles of delay. Power to stand in the center of your destiny and say, no more blindness. No more betrayal. No more silence. You've cried for signs. You've begged for confirmation. And this was it. Not a coincidence. Not a glitch in your scrolling. A divine summons from the throne of God. But you still have one decision left. To obey the nudge in your spirit, or to pretend this was just another emotional moment. Don't choose delay. Choose destiny. This is your final call before the scroll closes. Say it now. I receive. I remember. I rise. Heaven is listening. The angels are recording. And I, Michael, have drawn a line in the spirit. Those who step forward now will walk under new covering. Type 777 if you declare, I will not miss what belongs to me. And remember, you were the only one who didn't know what happened last night. Now, you do.